After 3 days in Portugal, La Vuelta returns to Spain today. Yesterday, Wout van Aert took his first win in 6 months in the leader's red jersey, but the Belgian will switch to domestique mode on stage 4 as the GC contenders get set for the race's first summit finish on Pico Vuelta. We have a good test today. I think we'll be able to see which riders are going to be fighting for overall victory. We're going into it with a lot of ambition and we hope to do the best possible job. Question marks around the form of Primož Roglič after his crash at the Tour de France.
I still feel the back, it's true, but I mean, so far so good, no? Yeah, we will see today on the first climbs, yes, when I really push it with the race, how I will react and how it will go. You need to have the legs there, it's just that.
Plenty of eyes will also be on the defending champion Sepp Kuss, who won't be given the same freedom as last year.
For sure, it's the first test. Now maybe they'll look at me a bit more if I try and go on the break. But no, for sure, there's a lot of teams here with multiple options. So with uphill start today, it's also a tricky one for teams to possibly use those options.
Jesus Herrada was second on the Vuelta's only previous visit to Pico Vuelta back in 2021, behind Romain Bardet, but ahead of Jay Vine. I think it's a very hard climb. Last time we did it in the middle of the race, and for the final climb we went up a different road. But I think it's going to be a nice day today, both for the stage win and for the GC contenders. There are 4 climbs scattered across today's 170 kilometres. Shortly after leaving Plasencia, the riders will tackle the Puerto de Cabeza Velosa and the Alto de Piornal, but the fireworks will come on the final hike up Pico Vuelta. It is almost 15 kilometres at over 6%, with passages at up to 20%. After a couple of relaxed days, there was more intensity at the start today, with the average speed over 40 kilometres an hour. 5 men made the breakaway, and naturally Euskaltel Euskadi and Kern Pharma were both represented by Mikel Biscara and Pablo Castrillo. The French time trial champion Bruno Armirail was also up there with the former Italian champion Filippo Zanna, and finally Sylvain Moniquet of Lotto Destiny, who was chasing polka dot points. 15 over the first 2 climbs, making him the virtual king of the mountains. Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe were driving the peloton on behalf of Roglič, with the gap never exceeding 3 minutes. The temperature though was soaring to almost 40 degrees. At this point, Armirail was the virtual leader. The Frenchman's looked on form since joining Decathlon AG2R this year. He already spent 5 days in the breakaway at this summer's Tour de France. After a long run through the valley, the 5 leaders hit the penultimate climb, the Puerto de Miravete, 8 kilometres at 4.5%. They were still leading by a couple of minutes, with the GC teams just keeping the peloton rolling along. No major urgency for the time being. There was a bit more up at the front though for the mountains points. Armirail first to the line this time, ahead of Zanna and Moniquet. Well, the riders heading into the final part of the stage, with Red Bull stepping on the gas again. Armirail decided it was time to go solo up at the front, although he was joined by Castrillo. The 2 men are working together and maintaining a 2-minute gap as the other 3 were caught by the bunch. Castrillo and Armirail reaching the intermediate sprint at the foot of the final climb, and there were still plenty of points available for the main green jersey contenders.
Wout van Aert starts to accelerate, and Caden Groves right on the wheel here, hugging the right-hand side of the road, Wout van Aert. And can Caden Groves just try at the last moment to try and come through, elbow to elbow, a throw for the line? Pretty hard to call from this camera shot.
Well, Groves did get there just ahead of Van Aert, and that was game over for the 2 fast men as the peloton embarked on the climb. And they soon had the 2 leaders in their sights. Castrillo and Armirail hitting the steepest sections, with UAE on the front of the GC group. Pavel Sivakov was the first man to make a move, and he quickly caught the 2 front men before being caught himself. it was time for the favourites to take centre stage.
It's Felix Gall, the 26-year-old Austrian rider from Decathlon AG2R Le Mondial team, who has just got a couple of bike lengths. There's been no reaction, and perhaps some of the big favourites in the general classification don't really see Gall as a big threat.
Behind Gall, things had really thinned out, with Roglic setting a high tempo. Only 2 riders could stay with the 3-time winner, Enric Mas and the talented young Belgian Lennart van Eetvelt, winner of this year's UAE Tour. A slight lull allowed a second group to catch up, containing Almeida and the up-and-coming American Matthew Riccitello. Mikel Landa also fought his way back to the front before unleashing with a couple of 100 metres to go.
And the first person to blink, and it's Mikel Landa of T-Rex Quickstep. It's the Spaniard, the 34-year-old, who's trying to go and take a stage victory in La Vuelta. But Lennart van Eetvelt of Lotto Destiny, he's already finished 5th in a bunch sprint. He's got the speed, he's got the power, but he's going to be close on the line. And it's Primož Roglic, who by the looks of things has just taken that on the line. His 13th Vuelta a España stage victory.
Well, there had been question marks over the form, but this was an emphatic response from Roglic, the Slovenian overhauling the impressive Van Eetvelt to claim his 20th Grand Tour stage win. He also takes the race lead, but with that lingering back injury, how's he going to handle the pressure of wearing the red jersey?
It was not actually the main objective of today, but yeah, when you see the guys riding hard in this heat, yeah, happy to finish top. I felt definitely the back already. Hopefully it doesn't go worse. So yeah, I mean, the goal yeah, we'll keep the same, just to go day by day.
Roglic taking his 13th Vuelta stage win after a Red Bull masterclass with 6 riders on the same time: Van Eetvelt, Almeida, Mas, Gall, Riccitello and Landa. Roglic leads Almeida by 8 seconds overall, with Mas at 32. Kurs already trails by 1 minute and 14, with Adam Yates at nearly 2 minutes. Van Aert and Groves are still neck and neck at the top of the green jersey standings, with the Belgian just 6 points clear of the Australian. Moneke is now the king of the mountains. He's on 16 points, followed by Zana and Roglic. And Antonio Tiberi is the new leader of the youth classification by just 3 seconds from Van Eetvelt. The road flattens out again on stage 5 with another day for the sprinters as we head to the Andalusian capital of Sevilla. Do join us then, and thanks for watching.